Hi everyone, this is Connie from Connie's Nails and Creative Creations. Today I am taking part in this challenge. It's called 5 Under $5. It's a DIY challenge, and Missy from the Crafty Cove and Emily from the Charm Chic is the host and co-host to this challenge. I really loved doing this. Each item should be under $5, and I think I spent less than $2 total, and that's supplies and all. So let's get right into this, and I'll show you what I made. Okay, I went out to my garage, cut a piece of 1x3 into they're 5 inches by 3 inches, and I'm just sanding the rough edges down because I cut them on my miter saw. So I wanted them to be fairly smooth, but I wasn't going for totally smooth. If I had done that, I would have really used my band sander and really got it really smooth. So I was okay with a little bit of roughness. Okay, once I get that done, I take my white chalk paint that I made. It's 2 parts paint, 1 part ground up chalk, and a little bit of water if you want it thinner, or you could just add a little bit of paint. I ended up putting just 1 coat to start with on these. Actually, I put 2 coats. I'll show you what I ended up doing, because I ended up making this and then I changed it later on in this video. Now you're going to see that I'm jumping back and forth between the 5 DIYs, between like drying time. I jump to the next one and back and forth. So that's why you'll see that I'm jumping, and that's the reason. So here I am putting that second coat of white on these to get a nice opaque white. Now I am taking this paint, this brown paint, and I'm just going to like lightly dry brush it on the edges, the 3 edges of this piece of wood, so that it will end up looking like book pages. This is going to be a stack of 3 books. So I'm just working that on there, trying not to get it too heavy, so that it will end up looking like book pages. Because I'm running it back and forth, it ends up really looking pretty awesome in my opinion. I hope you guys end up liking this. And if you guys are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And if you've been here before, I am so glad you're back. And guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. As you can see, I took some and give me a big thumbs up and leave me a comment. And I'm going to dry brush it on the edges of the book. And this is what I'll show you later. This ends up not looking anything like this, but this is how I began, and you'll see when I change it. Okay, I go ahead and I grab my wood glue, and I am putting it in the center, and then I'm going to put hot glue around the edges to stick them together. Hot glue is for the quick hold, and the wood glue is for the long-lasting hold. And I end up doing it again. Normally I would not put this on paint, but it is adhering to raw wood, so I thought it would be okay. So I just line those up, and I go ahead and use Mod Podge all over it. And I used my Cricut to print out some words, and I started putting it on, and I just decided, nope, I didn't like it. And so I took them back off, and this is where I went ahead and I wrote the words in, and like I said, I ended up changing this too. So we'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. As you can see, I drew a bee on there, and I grab some jute and I wrap it around and I tie it in a bow, and then I come back the next day and I change it all, and we'll see that in just a couple of minutes. But right now, we're just going to move on to my other projects. Now, these pieces of wood here are also from my garage, and I just cut them with my miter saw in like a house shape. And I'm just using my sanding block, and I am sanding them fairly smooth. And I'm going to grab this bright yellow, and I'm going to paint the small one yellow, and it takes 2 coats. And then I'm going to take my white chalk paint, and I'm going to paint the larger one completely white. Okay, after I get done with that yellow, I went ahead and grabbed a small paintbrush, and I painted the yellow stripes. Oh, excuse my yawn. So that it actually ends up looking like a bee. So we'll see how that ends up being. But like I said, this is all going to change. As soon as I go to sleep and wake up the next morning, I'm done. I don't like it anymore. So here I am going to, after I get this completely dried, I'm going to grab this yellow and white scrapbook paper, and I'm going to trace the house on it. It's just got like dots and swirls on it, and I'm just tracing it on that house. I'm going to use my glue stick, and I'm going to glue it to the front of the house. Okay, now I am taking these beads, and I am going to make a wood bead tassel. I've got the raw wood, some green ones, and some yellow ones out of this other package from the Dollar Tree, and the other ones came from Walmart. And I'm just getting out, I think 10 of each, and I'm going to paint the green ones black, the raw ones white, and leave the yellow ones yellow. So I end up putting them on skewers so that it's easier for me to paint them when they're on skewers. And so I did that on each one in the different colors after I chased down all these beads from all over the table. So like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and get these all on the skewers, and then I'm going to get them all painted. Okay, now that they are all dry, I'm going to push them off of the skewers, and I'm going to grab this jute that I have from Dollar Tree, and I just beading it, just going black, white, yellow, and I twist the jute to get it to go through those holes. And then when the ends get a little too frayed, then I trim it and start with a new end. And that is how I am going to put this on here. Now, I am sorry for this next little bit of footage. I always pull the projects to myself, and I forget that my camera's above me, and sometimes my camera will slowly move, which I'm trying to figure out how to stop it. But I end up being out of frame. So, like I said, sorry about that, especially right here when I'm doing this. I'm winding the jute around my hand, and then I'm going to make a tassel on each end. Okay, now I am just taking back of a paintbrush and dipping it in my black chalk paint and just dotting this whole little house shape to make it look just nice and whimsical is what I would call it. But I just kind of randomly put all these dots on this. And then I am going to set that aside. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of jumping. Now here you're going to see where I decided I did not like those little books. I pulled off the jute and I am painting it yellow and white. And I have to do a couple of different coats on here. And I realized that the yellow is never going to cover that stuff. So I went ahead and put white all over it, and then I'm doing the yellow, and this looks much better. And I know you can see a little bit of the bee in that, but I'm gonna just maybe putting the bee back on there. So like I said, I am just getting that all nice and yellow and white. Looks like stripes. And of course I didn't have to worry about like the page part. Okay, while that's drying, here's a bamboo board from Dollar Tree. Now that would have been $1, but Teresa B DIY sent these to me, and she gifted them to me. I didn't even know they were coming, and they showed up. So thank you, Teresa. You're a sweetheart. But I end up painting that with one coat of white paint, sitting it aside. Grabbed my Mod Podge and I put it all over the paper because I wanted to seal it in. Now I'm going to use my little brayer from Plaid because I'm a Plaid ambassador. They sent it to me and I was just smoothing that down. Now I'm putting the Mod Podge, which is also a Plaid product, all over these little books. And I'm going to do one more coat of white on this bamboo cutting board, and then I'm putting on a second coat as well on top of here. So, and here I go. I'm going to get it all nice and dry with my heat gun. I am a really fast crafter, and so I sometimes don't wait in between when I should. I found out that's the reason why I had problems getting my vinyl on. Sandy from Lumber Mill, from McKinsey Lumber Mill, she helped me figure that out. I should have known, but like I said, I always like to go through crafts really super fast. I literally did all of these 5 in less than 3 hours, which was pretty fast, seeing how I redid one of them. And that was also my cutting time in the garage. And now you can see I'm putting a yellow check border on this after I put the white. And then I'm going to sit that aside after I get it dry and actually I'm putting Mod Podge on it first and then setting it aside to dry. And then I'm going to go back to this, and here's my vinyl I cut now. I was having difficulties with it. I did get it on there, but you will see the struggle is real. I did not let my stuff dry fast, long enough. So it literally, it was pulling up, and I ended up not even using transfer tape because that was my biggest problem. But I do figure this out, and I'll let you watch this little bit of the process because, boy, that struggle is real. And here I am going ahead and drawing that bee back on there. And then I'm going to get this vinyl lettering on here. And I literally end up picking each piece up and hand laying it on this little book. Okay, now that I've got that bee on there, I am struggling with those letters and the words, and then I'm going to go ahead and get those all on there, and it ends up working okay. It didn't stick too bad, so I go ahead and literally, though, I am taking them one piece at a time because the transfer paper wasn't working. Also, Sandy told me that if I put the transfer paper like on my pants first, then it won't be quite so sticky, and that was part of the problem as well. So that piece I was able to use the transfer tape on it, and I struggled, but I got it all off there, and it didn't tear up or make a mess or anything. So I ended up getting that all on there, and then I Mod Podged over the top of all of those because I didn't want any chance of any of it lifting, even though it was a premium permanent vinyl. I still wanted to make sure that it was going to stay put. Also, I didn't mention it before. Don't forget to go down to the description box. Down there is going to be the link to the hosts' channels as well as the playlist and all the information on where I get all my stuff. Like I said, I'm a Plaid ambassador. I'm also an Amazon affiliate, and my link tree will be down there in the description box, and that's how you find a lot of the stuff that I use. Now here I just took some thin burlap ribbon and some white, or not white, yellow Chanel wire, and this is both wired, and I'm just looping it back and forth. I'm going to use some paddle floral wire, and I'm just twisting it around, cutting, trimming, and then I'm just going to fluff, and I'm going to hot glue this right onto that corner because it kind of looked bare, and I just thought, you know what, you're screaming for a bow, so that's what it got, a bow. So, like I said, I'm just going to get that all on there. Okay, now that that's on there and it's all fluffed, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab those little faux books. I'm going to do the same thing I did originally, is just wrap some jute and tie a simple bow on the top there. Set that aside. Then I'm going to go ahead and wrap some jute around that other one. I'm going to tie it with some long tails, and I'm going to grab some natural and white little beads after I make a huge mess all over my table, and I'm just going to put some little beads right there on the ends of the jute just to dress it up a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you hit the subscribe button. If you're not one of my subscribers, I'll be so happy. You'll help my channel grow. And also, don't forget to check out everybody in the playlist and give them some love. Let them know that I sent you, and I hope you guys really enjoy this. Now, this is some shots of my all my projects on my little tiered tray. And I also got a little bee, or big bee, that is from Hobby Lobby. So, like I said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. And I don't like bees, but I really like decorating